All right, boys and girls, this is a first for me. Some of you are going to probably laugh, but this is the first time that I have had the opportunity to handle a CRKT Pilar. And I know it is like a staple in the budget knife realm. But quite frankly, I've just not spent a lot of time in the sub $100 range. I've had some budget knives on the channel, and I've had some other CRKTs, but I have not had this one. And I know a lot of people talk about it. So when it came in the box from Professor EDC via Knife Center, I was kind of excited because I get to check one out that I never have before and see if it's all that hyped up as people think it is. Well, as people say it is. And just because something is hyped up for one person does not mean that it's going to be hyped up for another, right? The Hellraiser is very, you either like it or you hate it. There's kind of no in between. Just because I love the Hellraisers doesn't mean you're going to. Frank Fisher Battle, same thing. I have heard, not this one, my other one, is the ugliest knife somebody's ever seen. Okay, well, to each their own. So let's dive in and take a close-up look at this, and then we'll talk about the specs afterwards. This runs $57 from Knife Center right now. Black G10, D2 blade, stainless steel hardware, and scales. Deep carry clip that works really well. They countersunk the clip and used countersunk hardware. Like, that's how everybody should do their clips. Like all of these budget makers. That works way better than this. Kubi got it halfway right. They recessed the clip into the G10, but then they used a big, huge oval button-headed screw, and it hangs up in my jeans. Not every time, but a lot. And I use that knife a lot. Very nice Stonewash D2 blade with just their name on the blade. Not a problem there. This is a Jasper Voxnäs design, I think is how you pronounce it. Voxnäs. So it's got his logo and name on there. I have no problem with that. Nice frame lock. No steel lock bar insert, but it does have an over travel stop here. Is there any milling on the inside of that? Nope, it's just solid G10, so there's no milling. And it runs great. The thumb hole does work for the reverse flick, spidey flick, whatever you want to call it. And it works even for me, and I suck and hate that method. Thumb opening it is a little awkward. Like, it works fine, but you kind of have to get your thumb in the right spot. It's not like a Hellraiser where I just pick it up and it's just there. I don't need to stretch or move my thumb. It's just right there, ready to go. That's just a better spot for a thumb stud. And I don't have, well, I mean, I have the Spyder Godelica, but that's not going to flick open really because it's a lockback. But the hole is in a better position to activate or deploy than the Pilar. But it does work. It's not that awkward or that bad. In a normal grip, it feels fine. But really, this is a choke up type of knife for me. No doubt. And then it's super comfortable, and I could use this and get some work done. Not a problem. All right, so let's go into the specs. It's 4 1/4 inches closed, 7 1/4 overall. 2.97 inch blade. 2.75 inch cutting edge because of that big front finger choil, which works fine for me. Little thick behind the edge to most people's standards. .027, almost 3 thou behind the edge. It is relatively sharp, but it's not going to be a slicer. It's going to be more of a user and worker. Okay. Blade thickness is 0.145. Overall thickness is 0.418. And it weighs in at 3.8 ounces. So it's light enough to carry. It's thick enough behind the edge where you're not going to have issues. If you're cutting down cardboard and you hit a staple or something, it's going to be fine. It's got a very nice darker stonewash finish. So it's going to handle any kind of wear marks, scratches, and things that you get when you actually use your knives. And it runs on bearings, so it runs very smooth. It's going to work great in your pocket because of the nice pocket clip. Has a little bit of tension, so it's a little bit tight. You can tweak that to your jeans. If you wanted to pull it out a little bit to make it a little bit easier in and out, you could do that, no problem. I almost would like maybe a flipper tab on this instead. Just, I don't know. I don't really want a big hump like on the Spyderco blade, but I think there's enough material, like there's enough room that if you just went straight across from this hump over and moved that hole just slightly out from the scale, it would probably work. It would give you more material here, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the thumb hole. But other than that, you know, for $60, can you go wrong with D2? Is it CPM D2? I don't know. I'm not going to comment there. But a lot of times when they just say D2, it may or may not be. But again, for $60, you get a thumb, a lanyard hole. You get a little bit of a, not necessarily a breaker, but you get a backspacer that you could smash into a can or something. Like, it's a usable breaker, for lack of better words. I mean, with the Spyderco, you would not want to smash anything open with this, but you could easily do that with that guy. Here's the Kubi. Roughly the same price, give or take a few bucks. Little bit bigger. Similar G10 construction. This is a liner lock with G10 on both sides. The pocket clip we mentioned earlier. And it gives you a little bit bigger knife, a little bit fuller in the hands, a little bit easier and more comfortable in the hand. Plus the finger choil. You know, I don't know. But for me, if I was going to spend the $60, I would just get another Kubi, because that just works my style better. And this is available in different colors. And I believe the Pilar, this is the Pilar 3. I believe that is available in other configurations as well. But just something to note, there are options in that $60-ish range. I believe I have a CRKT playlist. I will double check, and if so, put it here in the corner. And thanks for watching. Please go check out Professor EDC. Thank you again, Professor, for loaning all these in. I greatly appreciate it.